The difference between a regular and a fluent English speaker. A regular English speaker, you are able to understand what he's saying, but with a fluent English speaker, you're probably convinced about his thoughts. He's able to execute his concepts or his thoughts with, absolute ease, great choice of vocabulary, and definitely there is a command or edge as far as language is concerned. Now, going from a regular to a fluent English speaker is probably a cumbersome journey, yet there are some hacks, quick fixes, which we can, quickly imbibe and make sure that we start sounding like a fluent English speaker. Let's find out what is that instant or quick fix. I went there. I saw many things. It was good. A regular speaker. That's how you will sound if you're a regular speaker. Now let's see how a fluent speaker would sound. I visited the place. It was fascinating. To be honest, there were some great places to explore. I conveyed the same thought more fluently, more effectively. But what was that trick that I used to sound like a fluent English speaker? Well, the trick was the use of some interesting catchphrases which definitely makes you sound like a fluent English speaker. So this is the first trick. Let's understand some great phrases which we can learn and imbibe so you start sounding fluent instead of regular. Let's understand some 10 phrases. Easy to learn, easy to use, and yes, you will certainly impress your audience or anyone who's listening to you when you decide to use these phrases. First phrase is to be honest. To be honest, I really enjoyed the film. I don't know what the fuss was all about and why people said it was too long. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, to be honest is a great phrase when you're candidly saying something, putting an, open opinion out there. So, use the phrase to be honest. That makes sense. Well, that's the second phrase you can pick up. Easy to use. When you're convinced about something, you show agreement. That's when you can say that makes sense. If someone's opinion is great, you feel it's a great input, you could use it. That makes sense. Okay? Or for that matter, if you finally see a viewpoint, you can say, oh, now I see it. That makes sense. When you're planning to differ from someone's opinion, yet you want to be polite, this is how you could do it. The next phrase is, I see your point, but, okay? So you started with a positive phrase. You started on a positive note. For instance, you're telling someone that, look, I understand what you're saying, but here's what you missed. So for instance, I see your point, but it's certainly going to be very expensive for the company. There, you have shown your disagreement, yet politely so. At the end of the day, yes, that's the next phrase for you. When you're trying to tell someone the summary of something or a concluding note, or for that matter, the main element of something, at the end of the day acts like a beautiful phrase to use. At the end of the day, profits is what will matter to any organization. When something is situational, you want to respond by saying, it'll matter based on the circumstances. You can use the phrase, it depends. It depends. If I'm available, I'll certainly join. So the situation dictates the outcome. It depends. Great phrase to use. Accepting something, finding middle ground, showing agreement. The phrase to use is fair enough. I use this a lot. So for instance, if someone says they're going to be late, then I end up saying, fair enough, I'll wait. Okay? Or for that matter, someone gives a solution, it turns out to be better than yours. Even then you could say, fair enough, let's go with this plan. When you're unsure, and probably instead of saying, I don't know, you could rephrase it by saying, I'm not sure, but. Now, the reason why I add a but to it is because you should give some solution when you're not sure. Either you're going to check or you're going to ask the person to reconfirm, something of that sort. So, I'm not sure, but is a great phrase to use when in doubt. I'm not sure, but let's try this solution. Let's see if it works. I'm not sure, but I think he said he's going to be late. There you go. You're giving an extended input, which makes it sound more meaningful, even though you can't say for sure or for certain. When you're pausing naturally and you need a moment for yourself, you could say, let me think. When you're taking a natural pause, you're actually wanting to think or process something. You could actually say it out loud. You could say, let me think. Or if it's an extended time frame, you could say, let me think and get back to you. So, let me think was the next phrase, which allows you to pause naturally without any awkward moment. When you want to appreciate someone or acknowledge something, you could use the phrase, that's a good point. That's a good point is a great phrase which acknowledges someone's input. And trust me, you already get that person's support when you acknowledge. A great way to compliment someone. That's a good point. Often, when we speak, we tend to use too many words to explain something. And then at some point, we realize that we've gone off track. We need to come back on track. At that point, this phrase saves the day for us. The phrase is long story short. So if you want to come back to the point, you could simply cut short the discussion by saying, long story short, that's how we missed the train. Okay? So great phrase to use. So, want to move from being a regular speaker to a fluent speaker? These 10 phrases definitely the right starting point. At English Excellence with Chhaya, we believe in bringing exciting lessons to you, which you find enriching, definitely something you can use in your day-to-day life. And yes, for more expert guidance and something where you want to formally engage with us, reach out to us at our numbers and we will help you with detailed programs where you could actively work on developing these skills. Till then, happy learning at English Excellence with Chhaya.